Morning, boys and girls. So we're starting with topic 17, percentages. Sorry if I went for a checkup and whatever he's done with my alignment, he's made, I don't know, anyway, if you hear me speaking a little weirder than usual, just, it's my teeth. Okay, so we're doing the 24-hour clock and we're going to compare it to the 12-hour clock. So 24-hour clock means we're operating from 100 hours to 23:59 before it becomes a new day. Whereas when you're operating the 12-hour system, you have AM and PM. So we have midnight to midday, and then we have post-midday. So midnight to midday would be 12 AM to 11:59 AM, and then 12 PM to 11:59 PM. The 24-hour clock, because we don't have AM or PM, we can read it straight away. After midday, you start adding on 12 onto your hours. So 1 PM is 1300 hours, 2 PM is 1400 hours, etc. Convert each of these times to the 24-hour clock. So I've done them all for you here. So we have 6:45 in the evening, which is 6:45 in the evening PM. That's digital for 12-hour clock PM, but we're converting it to the 24-hour clock. So Miss Walker's already said in the 24-hour clock we must add 12 onto hours after midday. So 6:45 PM we add 12 onto 6, which is 18:45. So 18:45, we know that's in the PM because it's in the 24-hour clock. So we know it's 6:45 PM, which is 6:45 in the evening. Now, 1 o'clock in the morning, I shouldn't have those two dots there, apologies, is 1 AM or this 1 AM. And 1 AM in the morning converted into 24-hour clock is 0100 hours, QED. 12 midday is 12 PM. Okay, 12 midnight is 12 AM. And then we have, when we convert it, it's just 1200 hours. Then we have 20 to 10 in the evening, 20 to 10 PM, which is 20 to 10 in the evening, is 9:40 digital time, and it's 9:40 PM in the 12-hour clock digital time. Okay, it's 20 to 10, mean there's 20 minutes to get to the next o'clock, 10 o'clock, which means we've already done, we've already completed 40 minutes past to 9, so that's 9:40. We did this, you would have done this in third class. And then the 21:40, okay? 12 and 9, 21. Okay, guys, so 25 past 3 PM is 23:25, always the arc first. You would have done that in third class. 3:25 is 25 minutes past 3, but because we're showing it in the 24-hour clock, we have to reflect that. So we had the 12 hours past midday onto the 3, and we have 15 hours 25. Like I said earlier, once you go past midday, you must add 12 onto each of your clocks. So 1 o'clock is 1300 hours, 2 o'clock 1400 hours, 3 o'clock 1500 hours, and it's 15:25 because it's 25 past 3. 10 to 1 AM, that's 12:50 AM. But if you're doing the 24-hour clock, midnight is 0000 hours. So then we have 00:50. So it's 15 minutes past midnight, which is 10 to 1 in the morning. And then we have 10 past 5, which is PM. So it's 5:10 on the digital clock. So we know it's 10 minutes past 5 PM. Always write the o'clock first when you're doing digital. And then to reflect it in the 24-hour clock, we must add the 12 onto the 5, which is 17:10. We need no AM or PM because we're doing the 24-hour clock. 1/4 to midnight means there's 15 minutes to get before it's midnight, before it's 12 midnight. Okay, so 11:45, that means it's 45 minutes gone, 11 o'clock. And how do we know that? Because it was 11, we went 45 minutes around the clock, and then we have 15 minutes to get from to get to the next o'clock, which is midnight, 12 midnight. Okay, and that's 23:45. Why? Because I must to reflect it as a 24 o'clock. I add 12 onto 11 to make 23:45 in the 24-hour clock. Okay, guys. Now we're going on to how many hours and minutes between each of these. So I'm not reading the time in these ones. I'm not reading the time in A, B, C, D, E, or F. I'm only using the times to get the hours and minutes it takes from one time to the next. That's all I'm getting is the difference. So the first one, that's easy. You can do that in your head, even 5 hours and 27 minutes QED. Okay, you're taking it away. Now the second one, here you're going from 18:15 in the evening, which is 6:15 in PM. which means it's 6:15 in the evening, and you're going all the way around to 1 o'clock in the morning. So what you can do is, guys, if you understand this, you can go from 6:15 in the evening in your head, count up all the hours to 1:15 in the morning, and then subtract 15, because we want the time from 18:15 to 1 o'clock, not 18:15 to 1:15 in the morning. So that's easy. If you can't do it in your head, this is how you do it. You go from 18:15 to the 24 o'clock. We are not reading time. Therefore, I can say 24 hours. There's 24 hours and no minutes. So there's 24 hours in the day. And that means that from 18:15 to midnight, which is, we've done 18 hours and 15 minutes of our current day, of our present day. And we want to know how many hours and minutes are there from our present, the present time we've done. So we have 18 hours and 15 minutes completed in our day today. I want to see how many more hours and minutes do I need before we're going into our new day. So I take it away from 24 hours. I'm not using it as reading the time. I can put down 24 hours. Then take it away, straightforward. We look over to hours and minutes. So the minutes are 00. Take away 15, not doable. So I go next door and I regroup. Take an hour from 24, I'm left with 23 hours. I bring over an hour and convert that to 60. Okay? I'm not changing the time, I'm just facilitating subtraction. Then 60, take away 15, straightforward. Okay, guys? So we end up with 45 minutes, and then 23 take away 18, 5. So we have 5 hours and 45 minutes difference between 6:15 in the evening, 18:15, to midnight, 24 hours in the day. Okay, we've completed 18 hours and 15 minutes of our day, but how many more hours and minutes do we have to go to get to finish our day, which is 24 hours in the day? So I'm using 24 hours not as a reading time. You can't do that. I'm using 24 hours in the day to see how many more hours and minutes do I have to go to complete my current day. And that is, when we take them away, we get 5 hours and 45 minutes, okay? From 18:15 to midnight. Now, they want us to tell us how many hours and minutes from 18:15 to 1 a.m. So I must add on the 1 hour from midnight to 1 a.m. And so in total, it'll take me 6 hours and 45 minutes to go from 18:15, 6:15 in the evening to 2400 hours to 1 a.m. Sorry, it's Saturday morning, and I've tried to tape this several times, and it actually knocked off, and I'd nearly the full lesson done, and it just, I don't know where it had knocked off somewhere in the middle, and I hadn't realised it. I was so involved in the maths, and now it's a bit later, and they're making lots of noise with the TV downstairs. Okay, so I'm just banging the floor to tell them to lower the volume. Okay, guys, so then we go on to 2C, and it's 21 from 13:24 to 21:13. So from 13:24, it's just straight away. So I want to know how many hours between 13:24 and 21:19. I'm going to take it away. I remember, 13 take away 24 is impossible. Go next door. I take an hour, I'm left with 20. And then I bring over this 1 hour, which I convert to 60 minutes. And I'm only doing this to facilitate subtraction. So I have 20 hours, 73 minutes, which is the exact same as 21 hours and 13 minutes. But I'm only doing this. You can never have a time of 20 hours and 73 minutes. This is for pure subtraction purposes. So I'm left with 7 hours and 49 minutes when I do that. So you can look closely at what I did. It's very straightforward. You would have done it last year in January with your teachers, Miss Malloy and Miss O'Connor. Exactly like this. Okay? And now I'm going to go on to 2C, and I'm going on to 2D. So 2D is between 2 minutes past 12 and 7 and 1 and as far as 1 minute past 17:01, which is 1 minute past 5 in the evening. So we 1 minute take away 2 minutes. I cannot do. Have to go next door. So I take 1 hour from the 17 of 16. Bring over your 1 hour, convert it to 60 minutes. Add your 60 onto your 1, purely for subtraction purposes. So now we have 16 hours and 61 minutes. We can only do this if we're subtracting. Okay. You would never read 16 hours and 61 minutes. You cannot do that. But this is just to facilitate subtraction, guys. No other reason. You could never have 16 hours and 61 minutes. 16 hours and 61 minutes is 17 hours and 1 minute. So as I said, I'm only doing this in order to facilitate the subtraction, because You cannot take 2 minutes from 1 minute. So when I bring over this, the 16 add on to 161, so it's straightforward subtraction, and I end up with 4 hours and 59 minutes. That's the difference between 12:02 and 17:01. And 2e. Okay, 2e, so hold on there, guys. So 2e is between 16:55. Okay, here we go again. So I'm going to get the hours from 16:55. I have 16 hours and 55 minutes completed in my day. I want to find out how many more hours and minutes I need to complete my current day up to midnight, okay? Because we have to get the time from 16:55 to 00:30. So if I'm getting it to midnight, midnight, I need to find out the difference between now and midnight, okay, guys? So 16:55 and 55, so we take it away. Again, we have to go next door because we cannot take 55 from 0. And we are left with 23 hours, and we bring over our 1 hour, convert it to 60 because you have to put hours with hours, minutes with minutes. And this is just purely for takeaway purposes to facilitate subtraction. And we're left with 7 hours and 5 minutes. So I know I've completed 16 hours and 55 minutes of my day. I have to do 7 hours and 5 more minutes in order to complete the day, complete 24 hours in a day. I have the 24 hours up there because I'm trying to find out the difference in time between 16:55 and midnight. Okay, and midnight, you will never see 24 hours in the clock. You will never see that. You'll see 12 a.m., 12 p.m., or 23:59, and then 100 hours for 24 o'clock. But this is because there are 24 hours in a day. I've completed 16 hours and 55 minutes, so I want to see how many hours left. This is just finding out the difference between hours and minutes. 24 hours is a whole day. 16 hours and 55 minutes of the day have been completed. So I need 7 hours and 5 minutes to get from 16:55 to midnight to complete my current day, the day I'm in today. Then I have to add on a extra 30 minutes when I get that, because they asked you between 16:55 and 30 minutes past midnight. How do I know it's midnight? Because it's 24 o'clock. Okay, so that's where I got the extra 30. Where am I? The extra 30 minutes. So go back over that, guys, and examine it. The 24 hours is not, I'm not reading time there. I'm talking about 24 hours in a day. 24 hours and no minutes in a day. I've completed 16 hours and 55 minutes of the day. I have 7 hours and 5 minutes when I get the difference of the day to complete. And then I have to add on a 30 minutes. So to get from 16:55 to 00:30 hours, I have another 7 hours and 35 minutes to go. That's what it means. To get from 16:55 all the way to midnight, and it's not midnight to 30 minutes past midnight, which is half past midnight, I have to go, first of all, 7 hours and 5 minutes to get to the midnight, and then another 30 minutes to get from 5 to 5 today to 12:30 tomorrow morning, which is, you'll all be asleep. Okay, guys? Now, then we have to do next one, which is 2:45 and 13:10. So here we have it here. 2:45 and between 2:45 and 13:10. So I did it the hard way up there first, so I don't know why I did it. So here is the way to do it. So it's straightforward takeaway. So from 2:45, I have 2 hours and 45 minutes here. I have, how many more do I have to go through to get to 13:12? So what's the difference? So the difference between these two times, that's what they're asking you. So the difference is, okay, 12 to 45 is impossible, so I have to regroup. So I go next door, I take away an hour, 12, and then I regroup. I bring the 60 over, add it onto the 12, 70, it becomes 72. Why am I doing this? I'm only doing this to facilitate a subtraction because I'm asked to get the difference in hours and minutes. You would never see 12 hours and 72 minutes. It makes no sense, because in 72 minutes, there's an hour and 12 minutes. And you bring that hour over and you'd end up with 13 hours and 12 minutes. But this is just, I am doing this for subtraction purposes only. And then because 72 is bigger than 45, it's straightforward take away. So 2 take away 5 cut out 2, go next door. I'm left with 6, bring over the group of 10. 12 take away 5 is 7. 6 take away 4 is 2. And 2 take away 0, 2 take away 2 is 0. And 1 take away 0 is 1. So that's 10 hours and 27 minutes. If you don't understand, pause it. Go back over it. Pause it again. Go back over it, guys. It's the only way. I'm not there, but I'm trying to be as clear as possible. Now, the next thing it says, show the 24-hour times on the analog clock. So that's grand. So I have a pick attached below because I'm not drawing out all the clocks and they're very easy, guys. But there's most important thing I want to draw your attention to. So the placement of the small hand is very important. So 21:35. 21:35 means it's 25 to 10. Why? Because I've 21:35 is 9:35. And 9:35 an analog time is, of course, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then 35. So it's 35 minutes past 9, or 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes to get to the next o'clock, which is 10. So it's either 25 to 10 or 9:35 p.m. We know it's p.m. because it's the 24 o'clock. So to be able to put this time over on an analog clock, you have to bring it back to the 12 hours. And so you take 12 away and you end up at 9:35. Now, 9:35, obviously, the big hand is on 7 because it's 25 to or 35 minutes past, okay? 35 and 25 add up to 60. That's how we know it's 25 to, because you take away 35 from 60 because we're dealing in 60 minutes every hour. We're dealing in 60 minutes every hour. So if it's 9:35, it's 35 minutes past 9, and then how many more to get to 60? 35 from 60. And why is it 60? Because there's 60 minutes to get from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, from 9:30 to 10:30, from 10:30 to 11:30. You're going 60 minutes around, okay? So from 9:35, okay, it's gone 35 minutes around the clock from the previous o'clock 9. The next o'clock will be 10. But how many more minutes has it to go? So 35 from 60, 25. So it's 25 minutes to go to get to 10 o'clock. So that means it's 25 to 10 or 9:35 p.m. Both of them are p.m. So the big hand's on 7 and the little hand now. It's 5 minutes after 9:30. Yeah? Can you see that? 9:35 is 5 minutes after 30. And 30 minutes is, we all know that 30 is, the big hand's on 6 and that's 9:30. So if it's 9:30 and it's 35 minutes past 5 minutes past 9:30, it has to be a little after halfway between 9 and 10. You cannot have the small hand pointing for 25 to 10. You can't have the small hand pointing on 10. That you cannot do that because it hasn't reached 10 o'clock. Therefore, the little hand hasn't reached 10 o'clock. And remember, the little hand is moving slightly all the time. It is moving slightly all the time between 9 and 10 because it has reached 9 already, 9:35, 35 minutes past, but it's heading towards the next o'clock 10. Because it's 5 minutes after 9:30, then it should be a little after halfway between 9 and 10. So I have it there. Okay? It is not exactly on 10. You cannot have that. It'll only be exactly on 10 at 10 o'clock. Okay? It'll be exactly on 10 at 10 o'clock. And then it'll be moving slightly all the time until 11 o'clock. Okay, guys? So once you see this, if it's 25 to, it'll be a little tiny bit after halfway between 9 and 10. When it's 22, it'll be even a little more towards 10. By the time it gets to 5 to 10, it'll actually be just nearly exactly on 10. You won't even notice the difference because there's such little space between each of the numbers, okay? But you must, the time must be reflected in the hands. The time must be reflected in the hands. And the only time the small hand is exactly on the number, exactly to the, is for the couple of minutes that you'll see. You won't really see it, it won't be visible to your eye, but when it's on 10 o'clock or when it's on 9 o'clock or when it's on 5 o'clock, okay, guys? So I did that one for you, and then I went and did this one for you, 16:55. So again, the big hand is on 11 because it's gone 55 minutes past 4 o'clock in the evening. How did I know that? I took 12 away from 16, 4:55. And 4:55 is 55 minutes past 4. Or how many more minutes to get to o'clock to 5 o'clock? 5. 55 from 60 is 5 minutes, so 5 minutes back, so that's 5 to 5. So notice I'm nearly exactly on 5. I'm nearly exactly on 5. Why? Because it's only 5 minutes to get to 5. So again, the time must be reflected not only in the large hand, in the longer hand, but also in the shorter hand. It must reflect the time that the long hand is reading. So if that was 5:15, the little hand would be directly on 3 for 5:15, and it would be a quarter of the way past 5 because it's 5:15. So it's quarter between 5 and the next o'clock 6. So I hope you understand that. Play that back over, guys, and listen carefully to what I say. It makes sense. All right? Now I've attached the rest of them for you. So now I'm going on to, no, I'm not. Where's the, oh, sorry guys. I've got page 4. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. I didn't turn over the page. Page 4. Okay. Or page 4 of my work. So we're going on to solve it, right? Of course, I said I'll attach a picture of these clocks, but I've explained the importance of the little hand when reading when you're trying to reflect time. Okay, so solve it. We have buses 14A, 14B, 15A, 15X, 16, 16A, 16B. And we're going from Collins Avenue all the way through to Kappa Hospital. NS means no service on Saturdays, which means the 15A and the 16A do not operate on Saturday. The other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buses do. Okay, 5 different buses. So we have C1. It is a 25-minute walk from Poppintree bus to Tulla Paper Factory. Which bus from Collins Avenue do you need to take to be at work at 8:30? So Tulla Paper Factory would be in Poppintree. It would be in the IDA, the Industrial Centre, right, guys? So I worked it out here. So I said the first bus was 6:50, okay, and it arrives at Poppintree at 7:23. Where is it? Okay, so it leaves at 6:50. 14A leaves at 6:50 and arrives at 17:23. Now, that I would have to walk, or I kept saying she, but I would have to walk another 25 minutes to get to the paper factory. After getting out of that bus stop, I now have to go to the industrial centre, and it takes me 25 minutes, and that's 7 hours and 48 minutes. Okay, 7 hours and 48. No, I'd be there at 7:48. That is 2 minutes just before 10 to 8 in the morning. Okay, not 7:48 in the morning. It's 07, so we know it's 24-hour clock. So it's 48 minutes past 7, or it's 2 minutes to 10 to 8 in the morning. Okay. Now I'm going to see if she took a later bus. So she has to be at work. She has to be in work at 8:30 in the morning. So she'll be there a good 42 minutes early, wouldn't she? The 30 and then the 10 and the 2. Yeah. So she'll be there very early, 42 minutes early to be exact. So if she took the later bus, which leaves, the next bus then leaves at 7:30. Okay. And it gets to Poppintree at 8:15. Okay. So it gets to Poppintree at 8:15. Now, she has to walk 25 minutes after she gets off the bus, and she has to be in work for 8:30. When I add the 25-minute walk onto that's a mistake there. Okay, guys, that's 0. I just wasn't, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. Okay, so I'm just going to block that out for you. Okay. I didn't use my tips at the time. I couldn't find it. So 8:15 take away. You're adding on. Sorry, you're adding on the 25. So it becomes 8:40 a.m. How do I know it's a.m.? The 24-hour clock. Okay. So 8:40 a.m. Now 8:40 a.m. is 10 minutes after 8:30. She would be 10 minutes late. So she'd be 10 minutes late for work. So the only bus that will ensure that she's on time, she'll be taking the 14A. That's the bus she'll be taking. Now, if you don't understand that, it's all about just trying to see, it reflects real life. What bus will I take to be on time for work? That's what you'll be doing in the future. What train will I take if I have to be in time for X and then I have a 15-minute walk to go to whatever office block you're working in? Okay, guys? So, C2. Wait, no, sorry. Yeah, C2. The question reads, the 16A was delayed by 17 minutes at the Jamestown Road. What time did it arrive at Finglas Station? So it should arrive at Finglas Station. Where am I? Finglas Station at 11:16. Okay? It should be arriving at Finglas Station at 11:16. But we have been told it is delayed by 17 minutes. So simple, straightforward. I added 17 minutes onto the 11:16, because if it's late, it's not going to be arriving at 11:16 anymore. It's going to be 17 minutes after 11:16, so that it's going to be arriving at 3 minutes past 11 in the morning. New arrival time at Finglas is 11:33. Okay, guys, I hope you understand that. So if it's supposed to be arriving at Finglas at 11:16, that you've asked what time will it be arriving at Finglas now, Finglas Village, it will now be arriving 17 minutes later than that time. So you just add on, simple addition, adding on another 17 minutes, and we have 11:33 a.m. Okay, guys? Now the next one, where am I? which bus takes the least amount of time to go from Aiden School to Kappa? So guys, you can either work this out in your head, but I want to show you so that you understand. So the first bus, 14A, when I took it away, the times, simple, straightforward times, as you can see, I'm not going to go through it. It's all the same. 15 take away 50. I can't do, I have to go next door, regroup. And that's where you get the 60 and the 15. You get 75 minutes and the 50. And then you have the 7 take away 1. So you have 1 hour. And that is basically the 60 and the 15, 75 take away 50, okay? And that's, you have 1 hour and 50, sorry, there's a babysitter up there. 1 hour, sorry, you have 1 hour and 25, you have 1 hour and 25 minutes took for the 14A, okay? Then the next bus was 14B, so it is 8:45 it arrives at, and it left at 7, so that's simple, 1 hour and 15 minutes it took. I'm getting the difference between the time, so it's straightforward takeaway. Okay, now the next one is easy. The 15A, you could do it in your head because it left at 8 and arrived at 9:14, so that's 1 hour 14 minutes, okay? And, oh, here I am. Sorry, guys. The next one is 58 minutes. How did I know that? I did it in my head from 9 to 9:58. It's just 58 minutes. And then for 16A, the same thing from 16 is right now, from 16A is 10:20. Oh, I didn't do the 16. The 16 is 9:15 to 10:15, which is an hour. And then the 16A is 10:20 to 11:25. So 10:20 to 11:20 is 1 hour, and then the 5 minutes for 25. Okay, so I'll do that again. 10:20. It's 20 past 10. It takes another hour from 20 past 10 to 20 past 11, but there's 5 minutes. So it's 1 hour and 5 minutes. Simple, adding on an hour and the 5 minutes, okay? And then from 5 to 11, 10:55 is 5 to 11 to 12 o'clock. So 5 to 11 to 5 to 12 is 1 hour, and then 5 minutes from 11:55 to 12. So from 10:55 to 12 o'clock, it's 1 hour and 5 minutes. That is very, very easy. So when you look back over it, the quickest bus is the 15X because it takes the least amount of time from St. Aidan's to Kappa Hospital, as it only takes 58 minutes. The next one would be the 16 because it only took an hour from 9:15 to 10:15. Okay, 9:15 to 10:15. Which is an hour. Okay, guys? And we know that the 15X was the fastest because it actually skipped 2 stops at Jamestown Road and Finglas Village. And when it skips stops, it means we don't have to worry, about stopping, collecting, people getting on, people getting off. Okay, guys? So, where are we now? We're going on to, can you think of a reason why the 9:15 bus does not stop in Poppintree? Okay, okay, right. Oh yeah, I just wrote down that a lot of people would have got off at the IDA and would be working there already. So its busiest times would have been the rush hour where people are starting work between 8 and 10 a.m. That's the reason. And then it just felt that was a quiet time where there wouldn't be a lot of people getting off at that time. So it just skips to that time, and then it resumes again the normal number of stops. Okay, guys. So I'm just saying that at that hour of the morning, the bus company must realise that an awful lot of people have already used that route to get to the IDA for work purposes. So a lot of people would have been using the buses to get there at an earlier hour. So this bus is not stopping there because there's not the bus company believe that there's not enough people to actually get off there. So they just skip that and then they resume on the next bus, which is the 15A. Okay, guys, so that's and then we have Mrs. Jenkins. That's 5. So where am I? Oh, 5. So Mrs. Jenkins was waiting. So sorry, guys. Mrs. Jenkins was waiting for the 14B at Jamestown Road from that to that, but it did not arrive. Can you explain that why Mrs. Jenkins why it didn't come? So I said the 14B leaves St. Aidan's at 7:30 and does not even stop at the Jamestown Road at that time. She should have taken the 14A. Okay, it doesn't stop. That's why. It left at 7. What time did it leave it? It left at 7:30, but it doesn't stop. So that's the reason why there's no 14B for her to take. Okay. Now we're going to do D. So there are so many hours in a fortnight. So you multiply 24 by 7 to see how many hours in a week. Okay, and we get 168. And then it's simple multiply by 2 for a fortnight, which is 2 weeks, and we get 336. I know you're thinking of fortnight, another NITE. So then we have the next one. How many seconds are in an hour? So there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, and then there's 60 minutes in an hour. So to get or 60 minutes in an hour, yeah. So to get how many seconds in an hour, we multiply 60 by 60 seconds in a minute by 60 minutes in an hour, and we multiply 6 is 36, and there's a 0 in 60 and another 0 in 60, so we add 2 zeros. Okay, so that's 3,600, and don't forget your comma. That's units, tens, hundreds, and always a comma before the 100. So we multiply 60 by 60, 6 is 36, and there's 2 zeros, so it must be reflected in the answer. Okay, 60 seconds in an hour, but there's also 60, there's 60 seconds in a minute, but there's also 60 minutes in an hour, so it must be 60 seconds in a minute by the 60 minutes in an hour, and that's where you get the 3,600 seconds. Okay, guys? Next thing is 3. The clock, from that to that, absolutely the 24-hour clock. And the next one is the 12-hour clock, because it runs, it has AM and PM. And last but not least, when you have o'clock, you're talking about analog time. You're not talking about digital, you're talking about analog time, you have o'clock. Okay, guys? So that's it. Now we're going on to take a pause here, take a break. If you have to actually take several breaks from here on in, if the class is long, you can actually just pause it, guys. Go off, take a break, and come back. Okay. Now we are starting percentages, and percentages, fractions, and decimals are different ways of showing the same value. The same, they mean the same, but they're just different ways. So a fraction is a half, or it is 0.5. Or it is 50%. Now the decimal can also be 0.50. 0.50 is the exact same as 0.5. Remember, all the zeros after the point, after the 5, after the 0.5 are unnecessary. But if you want to say what's 50%, it is 0.50 or 0.5. Okay. Then a quarter. A quarter is always 0. It is not 0.4. 0.4 is 4/10. That is very important. 0.4 is 4/10. A quarter is 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4, or 1 divided by 4, which is 0.25. Okay, a quarter is 0.25, and then our percentage is 25%. So a 0.5 is 50%, 0.25 is 25%. Therefore, is 3 quarters. If 1 quarter is 0.25, we'll then multiply that by 3 to get 3 quarters, which is 0.75. Do you understand that? If 1 quarter is 0.25, multiply it by 3, because 3 quarters will be 3 times 0.25, and that'll be 0.75, which is 75%. And then 1 whole. 1 whole is 1.000 to infinity, so it's just 1 with an invisible decimal point after it, because there's no numbers after the decimal, and it's 100%. 1 out of 1, 2 out of 2, 3 out of 3, a million out of a million is 100%. Okay, if you get a million out of a million, or if you get 10 out of 10 in your spellings, or 100 out of 100 in your maths or your English, you get 100%. Okay, then so we're going to look here, and it says percent means out of 100. What fraction, decimal, and percentage of each of the squares colored in? So I've done the first one to show you what to do. So we have 100 square. 100 square is 1. 100 square is 1 whole. Okay, it's divided into 100 parts. That's what it is. That's a whole square, 1 whole square, but it's divided into 100 parts. Okay, guys. So if you count, they're asking you what fraction, decimal, percentage of each of these coloured in. So rather than count the ones coloured in, I counted the 30 that weren't coloured in. So I knew 70. 30 weren't coloured in, so 70 were. Okay? And so 70 coloured in means it's 70 out of 100. And 70 out of 100 is the same as 0.70 or 0.7. The 0.7, that 0 is unnecessary, but I've just shown you, you can also write 0.7. Okay, 0.7, because the 0 after it is unnecessary, but you can put it in. You can put in a million zeros after it, and it still would be 0.7. So 70 out of 100 is 0.7 or 0.70, just because it's 70. I'm just putting it in there, but it's 0.7, and that is the exact same as 70%. So I want you to see, can you do 2, 3, and 4? Then I want you to go to do this. So you'll have to use your maths copy for this, guys. And it's 10 by 10, 100 square. Okay? So make 5 copies of this 100 square in your copy. Well, it's easy when you have square paper. And we'll start off. Colour 30% red of the first one now. Your first square is going to be 30% red and 25% yellow and 1/4 green. Okay, so 30% red. So what's 30%? It's 30 per 100. So 30 of the squares here are going to be red. Okay, 30 red. Do you understand that? 1/4 of them are yellow. So what is 1/4 of 100? Now, it's not 1/4 of the ones that are left over. It's 1/4 of the whole square. Remember that. So it's 30 out of 100 are going to be red. 25, which is 25 out of 100, which is 1/4 out of 100. 25 are going to be yellow. Do you understand that? And 1/5 of 100, 20 are going to be green. So let's do that again. 30 are going to be red. 1/4 of 100, which is yellow. So that's 30 and 25, which is 55. And then 1/5 of them, 1/5 of 100, which is 20. How do I know 1/5 is green? 1/5 of 100 possible squares. 1/5 is out of 100. So that is going to be 5. 100 divided by 5, which is 20. So 1/5 is 20. 1/5, you colour in 20 green. So 20 green, 25 yellow, that's 45. And 30, okay? So 45 and 30 is 75. So how many left over aren't coloured? What percentage is left uncoloured? The ones that are left uncoloured are 25 out of 100, okay? Which is 25 per 100, which is 25%. I'm going to do that again. You have your square, your 100 square like that. You'll have to draw the outline in the copy, okay? And you can see the inside, you can see all the squares yourself. So you just have to draw the outline 10 squares by 10. There should be 100. So you're going to, your first square, this is your first square, you'll have to do 2, 3, 4, and 5 the same. So 30% is 30 out of 100, okay? 30 out of 100 means you colour in 30 red. Now you have to colour in 25 out of 100 because 0.25 is 1/4 and or it's 25%. So 25% is per 100. So 25 are yellow. So now already you have 30 and 25 which makes 55 have been coloured. 30 of them red, 25 of them yellow, that's 55. And then you have to colour the 1/5 green. So 1/5 of 100, it's 1/5, but it's 1/5 of a total of 100 squares. So 1/5 of 100 is 100 divided by 5, which is 20. Okay, you colour 20 green. So you have 30 red and 25 yellow. Now you should have those coloured there. So that's 30 and 25, which is 55. 55 is comprised of red and yellow. And then 55 and 20, which is 75, okay? And because 20 are going to be green, 1/5 of 100 is green, so that's 20%, okay? So 30% red, 25% yellow, and 20% green. Why percent? Percent means per 100. So what percentage is left uncoloured? So if I have 75% per 100, all coloured in the colours red, yellow, and green, the part that I have left, the percentage that I have left uncoloured, well, I have 25 boxes left uncoloured, and that's 25 out of 100, which is 25 per 100, which is 25%, and 25%, which is the percentage. 25% is left uncoloured. That is very, very clear. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and you might have to pause the video several times, take a break, and pause it, take a break, and go back. Or like in maths class in the day, I mean, we go through the whole morning without a pause. You have to remember that. So you should be able to really not need too much of a break, maybe a minute or something, or 2 minutes to get a quick drink or whatever. But you have to remember in class, we work for much longer than this without a break. Anyway, if you're finding your concentration is lapsing, you need to take a break. That's most important. That's most important. And guys, I think I've been very clear here. So you might have to stop, look over what I said, look over it again and again. If you were talking to me here and now, I'd still explain it the same way. I'd still explain it the exact same way, but you'd just be beside me, and maybe that might be more reassuring for you, which I suppose it is. Anyway, we will be continuing. I'll have those answers for you tomorrow, and we'll be continuing on with page 1. 110. Thanks for your cooperation and for your hard work and for persevering throughout this video. It's been quite long, but it takes time, guys, and it takes a lot of time to prepare before I even take this video. So I really appreciate your work and your concentration on this. It's most important that you focus and that you take in what Miss Walker is saying. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Lacuna of Day. Slán.